Coming up is actually a city that has my heart and many of you out there, the Conroy District. I've brought Wesley Quach, the Asian Business Association San Diego Small Business Development Center Director. Oh my goodness, is that an acronym? To chat with us about how he started volunteering with the Conroy District in its origins and how he's seen it grow until now. So, hey Wes, how's it going?
Hey Lawrence, going well. How are you?
Nice to see you. Where
Good
are you
seeing you
right
as well.
now?
Yeah, just at the office on a Saturday.
Oh, I hope you're not working too hard. Can you say your title again out for me out loud? Because it's a mouthful.
Yeah, so my name is Wesley Quach. I work for the Asian Business Association. We are part of the SBDC network here in San Diego County. So what we do is we advise small businesses. Our services are offered at no cost. Yeah, so the past couple of months we've been really busy helping a large number of small businesses here in San Diego with COVID-19 relief and recovery, helping them get connected with funding sources, and making sure that they stay in business, they can keep their employees on payroll, and helping them get out of the situation.
That's so good to hear. And I mean, I've obviously like met and worked with you. So many people in the community have through originally when you first started out as in the Conroy District as one of the groups that you volunteered with. Can you talk about a little bit how the Conroy District was formed, the nonprofit partnership, and how you've seen that all change going up to today?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll talk about the neighborhood as well, right? So Convoy Street is located in Kearny Mesa, right in the heart of San Diego. In the 1940s and before that, it was a military base called Camp Kearny. And so after the Second World War, the area was kind of parceled off and sold off and basically developed into what it is now. The area is very industrial, and the first Asian business people started moving in, I would say, in the mid to late 80s. And Convoy Street since then has really blossomed into basically the Pan-Asian hub of San Diego. There are some historic parts of San Diego that have been historically Chinese, Japanese, or Filipino. Downtown San Diego, for example, Third Avenue and Market a long time ago was basically that hub. The area today is now known as the Asian Pacific Historic Thematic District. If you go down there, there isn't a whole lot of like Asian businesses or restaurants or even people living there now. I mean, Asian people living there. So the area is very historic, and so I think that hub of like the Asians of San Diego kind of moved to Convoy Street. I think what makes Convoy unique compared to other cities, it's a mixture of Pan-Asian communities, right? So it's not just a single Chinatown or a Japantown. It's a mixture of everything. So you can drive down Convoy, you get your pho, your dim sum, your ramen, like everything is there. And so here in San Diego, we have, I would say, I think there's 18 different business improvement districts. And so some well-known ones are Gaslamp, Little Italy, Hillcrest, right? So most of these neighborhoods have their own independent nonprofit organization to oversee the neighborhood. And they overlook and they implement programs and basically things that the city of San Diego doesn't provide. And so if you go to Little Italy, you'll notice that they have their own events, they have their Mercado, they have their own street sweeping and landscaping and parks that are all maintained by Little Italy. And so back in, I would say, 2012, a few of us Convoy business owners and members of the community got together and said, hey, look, we're seeing what's happening with these other neighborhoods and all the great things that they're accomplishing. How can we do something similar in our neighborhood? And so it's been a long time coming. This past 7-8 years, we have great partners with the city of San Diego, great nonprofit partners and sponsors, and we put together a nonprofit association with the goal of just making Convoy better, improving things little by little where we can. One of the very, very first things we did back in 2013 was we launched the San Diego Night Market right on Convoy Street as a way to promote the businesses and bring people to the neighborhood.
So how did you guys originally come up with bringing the concept of the San Diego Night Market to Convoy? Like, whose idea was it? And I guess explain a little bit about that that first round. So I've obviously came in and supported as the growth of the San Diego night market. I'm so proud to see it grow this way. But you all had your own special story with just starting it out, and I was there just to witness it, and I was already excited to see it at that time.
Yeah, so night markets are very, very popular all over Asia, and there were a few large night markets that occurred here in the U.S. as well, actually North America. So there's one in Vancouver, the ones in Los Angeles were coming up, and we basically said to ourselves, why isn't there a night market in San Diego? And a bunch of us got together. I think the initial team was maybe there's 10 of us with zero event planning experience, very little food experience. And we had our first night market basically in a section of the parking lot of Zion Market in front of Taiguki, the Korean barbecue place. And we were just crossing our fingers, hoping to get maybe 2,000 people to show up. I think the police estimates for that night were upwards of 10,000 or 12,000 people that weekend. And so it was a very overwhelming response. And we were very happy, elated. Unfortunately, a lot of the food vendors sold out of food. We hit our capacity. Parking was a mess, right? So we definitely learned a lot from that experience. And ever since then, the night market has, grown and expanded, to bigger locations every year. And one of the reasons why we called it the SD night market as opposed to the Convoy night market was we knew that it would be big, and we knew that it'll take over the city one day. And so it's really awesome to see how far we've come.
Yes, it's so cool to see. And I mean, again, we meet a lot of the same vendors, and we see them grow, and we see them also like develop these businesses with their family. And you mentioned that you work, of course, with a lot of business owners across San Diego, and supporting through your work with Asian Business Association. How have you seen people transitioning during these times? Like, are more people willing to try and become food vendors now, or are they pivoting to offer new services like catering? How's it been with your clients that you work with?
Yeah, it's been really cool seeing our restaurants and our food vendors basically adapt to the situation. It's funny hearing some restaurants saying that their business is actually doing better now that they're doing mainly takeout. They're able to fulfill more orders, keep their costs down. Majority of businesses were able to get some kind of funding, either through the SBA, the EIDL program, or the PPP. These are all federal funded programs that were meant to help businesses. So it's cool hearing stories, and there's other stories too of people that have, I guess you could say, normal corporate office jobs that were maybe furloughed or partially laid off during this time. They had a lot of extra time. And so I have a few clients of mine that have actually started their own food business side, doing delivery of different items. And it's great seeing that the farmers markets are starting to come back slowly. I know that they're limiting the number of vendors. They're not at full capacity quite yet, but it's great kind of seeing that actually come back. I'm very grateful that, in lieu of having our night market that would have been this weekend, we can at least do a virtual event to showcase all the businesses and what San Diego as a whole has to offer.
Absolutely. And I would say, it has not been an easy time for anyone. Again, these have been trying, challenging times for everyone across the board, across the world, and we're all navigating and figuring it out together. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like, our communities coming together to figure out how we can support each other. And then also a big part of it is for us is to be able to share those resources out with people who don't know. So I mean, I know about the great work that you do with supporting our small business owners across San Diego County. And again, as part of the Small Business Development Center network. What would you say to any business owners out there, or anyone that has friends or family that might be going through a tough time, because we are all navigating it together? What would you say to them? Like, what is the best way for them to get support, especially now?
Yeah, so the SBDC, so the website for the entire network is sdivsbdc.org. So the Small Business Development Center is it's a program. We're partially funded by the Small Business Administration, and we offer basically no cost, free business advising, right? And so if your business has been struggling, if you weren't able to receive any funding, basically you just go on our website, schedule an appointment with a counselor. If you want to schedule one with me, just go to the Asian Business Association website. It's abasd.org/SBDC, and you can schedule an appointment with me. We'll kind of look at your situation, kind of see where we can assist and help you out. For example, the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP, we're basically entering the last week of when you can apply for that, right? And so basically, it's a loan from the SBA that's through your bank or through a bank, and if you spend the money appropriately, that entire loan can be forgiven entirely. And so it's a way to keep your employees on payroll and to pay for other business expenses such as your rent or your utilities. And I think so far through our center, our clients alone, we've helped, I think, over 200 businesses here in San Diego, and we helped them raise, I think, upwards of $28 million in funding. And
That's
so
huge.
we're here to help. Our services are no cost. They're free to you. Just reach out anytime.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing a bit about the history and your work with the Conroy District. I'm gonna actually go ahead and ask like the question that gets the most eyebrows raised to you. What is your favorite spot to eat at in Convoy?
I have to say I like them all equally, and I encourage everyone to try every place. That's my answer.
That's such a PC answer. I would say like, okay, what are a few places that you think, for anyone who hasn't been to the Convoy District or isn't able to go enough, like what are some key places that they should at least try first, and then explore into all the fun neighborhoods?
Yeah, I think some of like the key places on Convoy, you have the places like, Jasmine Seafood Restaurant just reopened up for dine-in. They also have Jasmine Express on the side for takeout. Dumpling Inn, Shanghai Saloon is also very good. If you want something kind of more modern, you have Common Figgery. You have Wumiok. If you want boba, there's Boba Bar, Kung Fu Tea. There's a little bit of everything, right? Tajima is a huge favorite. Rocky as well. Shout outs to O'Brien's. It's American Pub right there in Convoy. They've been there since '94, so like they're the Convoy OGs. Honestly, just go out there for dinner, walk around. You'll find dessert places. You might find somewhere to get a snack as well. There's karaoke. There's all kinds of things to do on Convoy.
Well, thank you so much for being here today with us, Wes. We're actually going to shoot over to a video soon, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe out there, and for everyone at home who's watching, feel free to reach out to Wes and the ABASD team if you need any support with your small business. They're here to help, and again, that's all we can hope to do.
It's been great. Thank you for having me, and have a wonderful rest of the stream. So,
thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye. And so everybody at home, thank you again for getting the context of why the Convoy District is so special to us. And another piece that he forgets to mention sometimes, that it all started, it's all volunteer. And everybody's volunteering their time to make these things happen for the community just because they want these things to happen for our community. And I have to give it up to that whole team that started us out in the first place, because they volunteered hours, weeks, just to start this. And because of them, we've been able to grow it every single year. Like, it's so hard to believe that was only 7-8 years ago, and now we're able to connect in different ways and be here at home with you with the San Diego and Me experience, and encouraging everybody to again get back to all the food and explorations that